Alright, people, hope y'all doing okay. Let me know if my microphone is too loud or not, or if the music is too loud. We are here live from Vyrus Studios. If you know, Vyrus Studios is an awesome creator hub for anyone that in the Orlando area. I mean, I've seen people travel hours just to be here and enjoy the place. So if you want to come and say hello, feel free to do so. Just send us a message and we'll make it happen. Anyways, today we will be editing an awesome set of photos from my experience at Mirth and Mischief. This is a fantasy castle experience in Helen, Georgia. So, if you had a chance to see the promos online, this is a pretty awesome, it's a big deal. It was an awesome experience. And I'm gonna share some photos that I've took. This was this past weekend. I was invited to the launching of the event. Unfortunately, I had other things happening during that week. And unlucky for them, but I guess not too bad on my end. They had a pretty bad experience at the opening day because they had tornado warnings, so they had to evacuate. So, it sucked. They had to go through that, but that also, I didn't feel too bad of missing that day. So this past weekend, I had the experience to go to Helen once again. It's a lovely town. If you haven't been to Helen, please do yourselves a favor and go to Helen, Georgia. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful town. It's an awesome experience. So if you get a chance, please go. You will not regret it. So make sure you do that, okay? Now, here's the other thing. I went as a VIP guest. I had an invitation from David. He's one of the part of the organization that set up the event. He's one of the promoters as well. And I gotta tell you, it was amazing. It was beautiful. The castle itself was gorgeous. Please do yourself a favor and go. Keep in mind, this is a full month event. They're trying to make it happen every year. This is their first year, and they've been working really, really hard. I do want to point out that they're working with people from Cirque du Soleil, from Disney, from Marvel, people that work in Hollywood, a puppet master that was part of Sesame Street back in the day. I think he was Kermit, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a pretty big name. So if you haven't had the chance to go, please do yourself a favor and book as soon as possible, because I believe they only have 2 weekends left. So run. I gotta tell you, you gotta run. Make sure you don't miss out. I know they are working in 4 other events throughout the year, so be on the lookout for those. And I guess the last part of this housekeeping portion is I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank David for the invitation, Kelly, which is the main brain for the whole operation, Bob, which is the one Bob the builder, is the one that built the castle. Is a beautiful castle. All the family that I met over there from Bob, which is amazing people. I love the whole setup. The whole crew was amazing. Food was fantastic. And yeah. Anyways, let's jump into editing, because there's lots to edit. There's so much to edit. All right. Let me jump in here. did I not save that? It's okay. We'll do it together. Okay. There you are. Okay, fantastic. Alright guys, once again, we are going live in different platforms, so leave your comments. I'm going to try my best to monitor myself and monitor all questions. So, let me know if you have any questions, if you want to get more information of the event, of myself, of this studio, feel free to reach out, and I'm here to answer those questions. Alright friends, let's get some edits done. So, I'm gonna lower this microphone a little bit. Oh, my ear. I drove on Friday. It was about 9-10 hours. And then I drove back Sunday. So I am very, very exhausted. I'm on very low fuel. So bear with me today. Yeah, I've been even struggling with vertigo. So I'm trying to make sure I give you guys a good stream, but you know, bear with me. I apologize in advance. Alright, so beautiful castle. As soon as you get there, you have to go to the parking lot and then wait for a shuttle. You gotta pass security. You do the signing in the parking lot, and then the shuttle will take you to the castle. I think it's called Uhuburg. I think something like that. It's like an owl castle. Beautiful castle. It is a modern castle. It was built within the last 15 years, so it's not an older castle. It's a modern castle made in a few years ago. Okay, let's start editing. Once again, let me know if you have any questions as we edit. Whoa. Alright, Naela, thank you so much for sticking around with me on TikTok. By the way, if anybody's on TikTok, please let me know. Put some comments. I want to see if anybody has put some. I want to see if I'm able to read the comments as well. TikTok is a headache, so especially with this setup that I have. But anyways, let's do it. Alright, so I do have some presets that I built myself. I think I'm gonna start with Wedding Indoors, which is the most neutral one that I like to use. I'm gonna just a tiny bit of the curve right here. I'm gonna add clarity and contrast, and I think that's good. Let me adjust the white balance just a tiny bit. I want to make it a little bit warmer, and I think that's good. Okay. On the first day, it was a little bit cloudy, which is great for photos. Many people think that is not good, or it's just a bad idea, but it's actually pretty nice. So if you worry that you hire a photographer and the day is a little bit moody or a little too dark, we actually love that instead of having direct sunlight. It's just a headache. But anyways, I did shoot with my A7 IV mostly, and then I did the A7R4 as well. They did request me to do more video than photos, but once again, I'm mainly a photographer, so I did like little interviews here and there and a couple shots of the castle. They got plenty of material that could utilize that and match it with whatever I shot. Alright. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm happy with that, but I will, however, punch a little bit of that green. We're gonna punch that green a little bit more, and maybe the blue, just in case if we get a little bit of blue of the sky, which I doubt it. I think that's pretty much all the colors I'm gonna be tweaking. I don't usually adjust my lens correction or whatever. I just like it. I like to shoot the way it is. Emmanuel, mi pana, thank you, brother. I am trying my best to turn my edits into educational content and be able to talk to people. That's something I really love, to connect with people and talk about what I'm passionate about. So thank you. Thank you, brother. Alright, let's see. Who else do we have here? We got Eve, the wifey. We got the wifey connected. Hi, love. The trip was done with the wife. You'll see her on the photos as well. She loved the experience. It was a little different because she's not used to, being involved with fantasy stuff. I've been more exposed to that on my end, so I do like the fact that I get to enjoy history in the modern era. So I like that, especially as a photographer. I mean, it's a given. Big shout out to all the people that connected on Instagram. We got Luis Bonetti, Ruby, JSM, Active with Moni, and Ty. I'm saying hello to you guys. It was a great place. Alright, people. Let's chit chat more work. Alright. So I did a couple snaps for let me see. This one I adjusted the exposure. Let's see how drastic it is. Yeah, I like that. Another statue. The castle, the surroundings were. This is the main entrance. This is where you gonna find a big fountain. You're gonna be dropped by the shuttle, and you're gonna encounter a fountain with fishes, and there's a couple of statues surrounding it. That's pretty much the first thing you're gonna see from the castle, and then the big red double door, which you're gonna see in a few. Now I tried my best to capture things, but there was a lot of distractions all around it. So, like for example, in the fountain, there was a lot of construction car, different things that I didn't like. So I kind of shot the fountain in a weird way. So I apologize in advance. This is not a great photo, but this is more to showcase what they got over there. Hopefully for the next round they'll have everything settled in a way that is a little bit more visually appealing and less distractions are around. I should have just taken the photo and give you guys a full experience, but that's just me being picky. Yeah. Anyways, this was the fountain I was talking about. So there was a lot of I guess they were quite inspired with Greek and Roman sculptures. That was it was a mix of different cultures from what I saw. So yeah. All right, let's continue. This is the big red door. You were greeted by this character, which, by the way, she is a performer. She has a twin too. There's the sisters. You can find them online. I'll give you. Let me see if I have the handle somewhere. I might have the handle somewhere here. Let me see. I do want to give a shout out to the people that were there, and one of them was her and the sister. Okay, they're the Mike, well, no, Dubuc Twins, DUBUC Twins. They're performers in Cirque du Soleil. So, they're professionals. Alright, let's continue. Okay. They're being greeted at the door. Let me use, I guess, this one. Well, my wife is in the corner right here. I'll use that one. Oh, I think she was blinking. Was she blinking? That's a little better. With this one. Was she blinking? No, she's not blinking. She was looking at them. Okay. Good. So yeah, that's the main entrance right there. Dubuc Twins. And I did a couple photos for her. Let's see how that one came out. Yeah. Once again, I was struggling with vertigo, so my angle sucked on this trip. I apologize in advance. I was so exhausted and I don't know why I've been having issues with vertigo, but it's been a headache. So if you see my photos and they don't look that good, I apologize in advance. Or maybe I'm just too critical of myself. Anyways. That's just me being me, right? By the way, guys, let me know if you want me to do a little giveaway. We got 2 VIP gift bags, so we got some good bags. I'll be doing a live stream next week. Let me know if you want me to do a giveaway with those. I'm definitely not gonna be able to edit everything that I have here. So that might be a good idea for next week. Oh Lord! Give me 1 second, guys. Let me grab a Celsius because I am just blah. Look at the performer for like 30 seconds while I go bring my Celsius and listen to some music. At least 1,500 followers. Come on. All right, people. Let's continue. Middle 12. There you go. That's not bad. Victoria Rosetta, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. We're editing live today. I did fine. Oh Lord. Okay, let's continue. Check 1, 2, check. Let me know about my microphone if it's too loud or too low. I think that's good. But I don't know about the background. The background's a little distracting. Nothing else about her eye. Wait, what happened with the eye? Is it the makeup that makes it look that way? Or the shadow? Yeah, I think the shadow's the one that makes it look that way. Yeah, it might be the shadow. Anyways. Centered. And wow, my horizon. I tell you, I do practice my horizons. Can you tell? You know what could be great? If they do the doors, and then in this portion in the back, they hang like, you know, the curtains or the fabric, like red curtains, and then you open those curtains as you go by. Oh, that would be something, I tell you. Just saying. See which one's this one. Yes, both of them were looking on the first photo. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lower the clarity. What did I do? What did I say? Lower the clarity just a bit, lower the texture just a bit. And this is to help with the drastic, aggressive punchiness of the difference between the shaded area and the brighter areas. Do that. And then the last one, they were looking at each other. I can't wait to get a new computer. So this is gets a little faster. Alright, so that's the top of the door, which is once again the theme of the castle itself is about knowledge. And I spoke with Bob, which is the builder no pun intended. He mentioned that he was passionate about knowledge and philosophy, and I guess that's one of the reasons that he chose the owl as his main character for the castle. And I think he's passionate about that, and he built the castle around that. So everything that you see around that castle is related to knowledge, philosophy, and the owl. So, yep. I photographed the fish, but I should have photographed the horses. Also, the silhouette of the fish right here with the horse in the background is just a little distracting. I'm not gonna select that one. Okay, my goal with bringing Eve was to have a character kind of experience, from their perspective, experience the adventure and the whole thing from her eyes, pretty much. I do need to adjust this just a tiny bit to make sure her skin is. Once again, as you edit, try to make sure edit for people's skin. I know that you might be tempted to overdo it with saturation and whatnot. I mean, you can still put vibrance and saturation, but like for example, most of the skins are in the orange range, at least a good chunk of them. So what I do, I desaturate the oranges, so that helps me control the aggressiveness of some colors. Let me show you. See what I'm talking about? So if I leave it at like minus 12 for orange, or 15. See, it's a little bit less aggressive on her skin. Yeah, so that's what I'm aiming for. You could always lower the contrast too if you think it's a little too aggressive. But play around with values. I'm also gonna bring the luminance of the greens, so it's not as bright in the background. Once again, your eye naturally is gonna go to the brightest spot in the photo, so be mindful of that. So in my case, I have her top of the head brighter than everything else, and there's an exception in the back, which is the little statue, which is part of the background, so I'm not gonna blah about it. I do want to showcase things as they are. In a different scenario, I would have just deleted this portion, but I want to go with I want to showcase things as they are. Cool. Alright, let's move on. Now, from this angle, you can tell what I was talking about. Like, they have a whole restroom setup outside. They have the portable potties, and then they have that trailer bathroom, and they try to camouflage it a little bit, but it's just a hard thing to hide. So that's one of the reasons I didn't photograph that fountain, because in the photo it might have been a little distracting. So I'm gonna skip those, and I might jump into this one. Let's see. Let's do that one. Why not? Yeah, not bad. Not too bad. Alright, good. Okay. Ah, that's better for that specific photo. Yep. So once again, this was the main entrance right here. You can see that on your left right here, there is a gift shop. That's where you come in and pick up your goodie bag. If you're a VIP member, you could buy merch, you know, and souvenirs. So it was pretty nice. Let's see here. What else we got? No, next. After this, the character you encounter in the two big doors, you are greeted by, I guess, they trying to have like a, you know, when you go to a quest and you have the introduction, explanation, exposition person, that will be this guy right here. So he's the one that kind of explains, hey, welcome to the adventure of your life. Please, I guess, you know, find the clues and help us break the curse or whatever. You know, that's the goal for this character right here. So that's what I try to capture with this here. Now, I gotta be honest. If I would have been hired for, you know, the specific, like, show the experience through photos, I would have, you know, brought specific equipment to make sure everybody's lit in a very mysterious way. Maybe I would have done it in sunrise, depending where the sun position is, or maybe towards the end of the night. You know, having things set up. I'm not sure how if they actually did a photo tour experience, promotionals or whatever. I'm not sure. I saw a lot of videos. They did amazing videos. But in my case, if I would have been hired for like something like this, there's two ways to do it, which is this one, more of a, you know, natural light setup, which is making sure your subjects are well exposed, and hopefully they're, for the most part, inside or under shaded areas, and that the day is not too crazy bright, or, you know, whenever is it's not too bad of a weather. So that's one thing. The other thing is, like, okay, the second option will be setting up artificial lights where they're really well exposed, the background goes a little bit darker. You know, we're talking about strobes, probably 600 watts and up, that combat that lighting. You know, and you could always use an ND filter and make it look a little bit darker. Yeah, so that's the other route. So I personally, for this specific setup, I would have done the moody one. But once again, I was going as a VIP guest. They sent me the 2 VIP for 2 days tickets to enjoy the experience and tell you guys about it. So that's what I'm doing right here. Which was a beautiful experience. Let me also share this to somebody. Search people. Mirth and Mischief. Can I do that? Oh, can I tag him? Let me tag him. Let me see if I can tag him. Well, actually, let me copy this. Let me go to Mirth. Oh, Renee's calling. I am busy right now, guys. I'm sorry. Please text me. Oh, I got news. Okay, that's cool. Alright. Let me see here. I'm gonna follow. And I'm gonna try to post. Can I post on their page? Oh, I can't post on their page. Meow. Alright, that's fine. Alright, cool beans. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Let me let me text the person that was calling me. One sec. Alright, let's go back to this. Alright, sorry guys, sorry for the sidetrack. Let's keep working. Alright, and then this, like that, that's not bad, that's not bad. I like the first one. See how that looks. How straight that is. Okay. Can I? Cool. I like that one. That's not too bad. Let me see the next one. I like that one. Let's see. I feel that is a little too red. Too green. Right there. Let's bring this up just a little bit more. There we go. I think that's a little better. Once again, I'm trying to make sure the skin colors are good for each individual. And it's not, yeah. It is a challenge, and that's, as a photographer, you gotta be careful with that too, because you don't want to transform the individual too crazy. You want to improve the look, but don't just make a new human. don't make a new person out of it. Let's say, what kind of photo is that? Hey. I gotta show you guys the good ones and the bad ones, and I'm getting fully naked in front of you guys with all my work. I'm pulling the curtain, and you're seeing the photos from the keepers to the trash. So I'm being honest and vulnerable. You know what I meant. In front of you guys. Once again, it's been a long weekend. I am so sorry. I'm so tired. But here we are. I like that photo. That's not too bad. It's going to be overexposed because it's a different angle. And a little too green. There you go. There you go. And then, shall we come here? Okay. Can I edit this too? One second, guys. Bear with me, please. I want to check something real quick. Don't hate me. Be patient. I'm just manage post. Let's see if I'm able to tag them at all. Because I know they wanted content. They want to promote, you know. Let me see. Okay. I want to tag them. Let's see if I can tag them. Edit post details. Emoji. No. How can I tag people? Oh, tag. Mirth. And oh, that's for game. That's not a game. Create a poll. Notify. Schedule. How can I tag him? I want to tag him. Stream. It's weird. Anyways, that's fine. I'm not gonna be able to tag him. Unless I. Oh, tag. I'm listening to myself. Okay. Let me swap to jump rom. Let me see if I'm able to tag them. Tag them. Okay, it says copy link. No. What's their official site? Okay. Let me copy that. Paste. It doesn't let me tag him. Boo. Okay, I tried. Look, I'm trying my best to tag him. But, see? Alright, people. Shall we continue? Yes, we will. Where's the music? Where's the music? Oh, did I lose the music? Where's the music? Dios mío. Alright. No, that's not it. I want to try miscast. Ay, Dios mío, chico. I want to try this one. Okay. I'll try this one. Please connect. Please connect. That sucks. Okay. I guess I'll put this music right here for now until the other one comes in, which is nowhere to be found. Don't do this to me, Tascam. Why you gotta be so difficult? Alright. Let me reset the thing. There you are. Okay. We are back. Sorry for that. It's not easy. Not a sponsor, but maybe in the future. This isn't easy. Alright. Alright, let's leave one of those. We'll adjust this one. Make it look decent enough. And here we go. Alright, people. Once again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Let's check over here. Any comments? Any other comments? Yeah. Cool. Let's do this is another thing that I do as a photographer. Like, if you see that some photos are being repetitive, throw in a little bit of black and white. There's two times, or two specific times where I use black and white. Is where the white balance is not gonna be recoverable. Like white balance is just trash, and you cannot do anything about it. And the other time that I use black and white is whenever things get too repetitive. It's always good to throw in one or two black and whites. So on this one, the conversation went a little long, and I got plenty good angles already, so I'm gonna throw in just that little hint of black and white, which elevates the experience. It makes it look like there's something new happening, and yeah, that's what I do for some photos. Now you know. I like that one because you know, I'm capturing the send off, right? You got the introduction, you got this is the starting point of the quest. You're being sent off by your the exposition character. So that's what's happening, and I like it. It makes sense. It just looks really nice. All right, and then he looked at me like, okay, we're done here, right? Let me see. Yeah, you got it, buddy. Yes, I did. Thank you. All right, now I told my wife to, hey, go to each vendor, because they're vendors in this event. If you have anything related to Mirth or fantasy stuff, you could definitely set up or request to be a vendor. So there were quite a few vendors there, and yeah, so what I did is, hey, let's have you you know, interact with each vendor, and I guess we have them. I don't know why they pointed at the map. That's not what I wanted to do. I was like, hey, what kind of products do you offer? Just showcase the products. But I understand not everybody is ready for something like this. Out of the blue, just a random photographer pulls in and be like, yo, you're gonna be my photos now. Um, I understand they're not ready for that. It's like, what would I do? But she was a good sport. She made some like notebooks that were made in leather, or they were, you know, they had some leather accents, which was pretty nice. It was nice. Let's see. I like that genuine happy smile. I'm gonna keep that one. And once again, as a photographer, for some specific photos, you get to choose your composition. In this case, I left a lot of negative space just in case. Hey, throw in a logo in there. That's gonna make the photo look a little bit, you know, more usable for different options like marketing and things like that. So whenever you take a photo, especially doing this sort of photos, you wanna be mindful of, hey, what would this photo be used for? Let's give a little bit of negative space or framing where they could put a logo or a message or whatever. So I think on the left top corner they could definitely put a logo. That's literally website material right there. Come on, computer, for today. Raise your hand if you think that I should get a better computer. Oh my god. I will. If God allows it, for next month, I'm gonna have my MacBook Pro, and this setup is gonna be flying. Flying, I tell you. Editing is gonna be smooth as butter. God. I like that one. It's not too bad. Alright, I like that one. Let me see the next one. I like that one. That's a little bit better. Maybe she's too hidden behind the thing, that photo, but I think this one translates better to what's happening, interaction between a vendor and a guest. What can I find in this specific tent? Well, you get the little notebook with leather accents. Booyah. Cool. One second, guys. Let me see if I can just take some stuff out. Maybe the computer is going to perform just a tiny bit better. Alright, see if that helps. Alright, we got that. I think it's too repetitive based on the previous one. I like that one. That one is focused on the product. It's a nice close-up. We have the map as well in the background, so I think that is a good one. I approve this message. Whenever you want, buddy. Alright, that's not too bad. So I tried to do like a little photo where everything was shown. I try at what's this, F4? Yeah. And then I think I swapped it for, I still kept it at F4, okay. Let me see which one was better. I thought, for some reason I thought I stopped down a little bit to showcase more, but I think this one works. I think that one, this one works pretty well. So I'm happy with that. I'm gonna maybe lower this. Once again, yes, I was thinking about negative space, but I think I don't need the negative space right here. I'm just gonna go with that specific photo right there. Welcome, bartender 5 fee. Welcome to the live. Hope you're doing okay. I'm just editing some photos from a VIP experience I was gifted from an awesome event called Mirth and Mischief in Helen, Georgia. I drove over the weekend, Friday, came back Sunday. It was a pretty awesome experience, so I do recommend it. Hopefully you guys can go over there. Alright guys, this is going too slow. I need that new computer, please. Alright, that's not too bad. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do, guys, because once again the computer is mad slow. So what I'm gonna do is kind of show you guys a little bit of the photos and then talk about them, kind of showcase a little bit of what you can expect over there. So you got different vendors in the main entrance. The specific vendor was the one with the books, the leather books. Once again, I'm not going to be editing, so the photo might not load fully. I'm just on a preview mode so you guys could take a look, and I'll do a quick, walkthrough of what can you expect there. We have this specific vendor. She uses metals and creates jewelry. I think she does laser cutting as well, and handcrafted jewelry. So she was there. As you can see, she's fully into the experience of what was, the fantasy experience. That's the products that she brought in. That's a QR code if you want to use it. So I had the wife kind of hold a few of the jewelry items. So my goal is, once again, close-ups, kind of showcase the vendor, a little bit of what they do. And I had the wife kind of, handle some of those products. I met this character for the first time there. It seems that she's quite a character. She is known throughout the States. I think that she pumpkin godmother or something like that. The whole setup that she has, she travels around. I'm not sure if she has multiple of the same vehicles, but she goes around and she does like weddings, events like this, fairs, different stuff. So she was part of this experience. I think she matches very well with the whole idea. So it was a fun time. She was good. She was great. And so her job in this specific event was to greet people and tell them a little story, and that she will capture their experience sitting down on that specific vehicle, and she'll be taking some photos for the guest. So that's pretty much what she will do. So she will greet the person, she will say hello, please have a seat, and take some photos for them. And then she was like, you want to take a quick photo with your wife? And yeah, this is what I was wearing that day. I try my best. I don't usually go to something like that. I would love to be more active on that, you know, with that community, you know. It's fun. I would love to look like a Viking. I hope I could do that very soon. But yeah. Wait a minute. How's my microphone? My microphone is working? I just want to make sure it's working. Let me see. Okay. It is working. Good. Alright, just checking. I just want to make sure we got microphone going. Alright, so she asked me to pose with the wife. She took some photos of me. Yes, I could pass by somebody that attends to those events. And then these two characters right here, they're in charge of cleaning up. They're like the janitors, but I love the fact that they turn them into characters. So their armor is a bunch of cleaning stuff and supplies and recycling items, recycled items, bottle caps, they got gloves, pants. They're really funny, by the way. They're super duper funny. Yeah, that was a great experience. On the corner of the entrance, towards the next to the gift shop, you have this little step and repeat. If you want to take some photos there, you can definitely do that. That's pretty much what they might look like. Once again, all the photos that you're looking at, they're not edited. I do like to have my photos almost perfect on camera. I just tweak it afterwards. And yeah, you can take photos there as well. There was another vendor that she had a lot of decor with flowers and butterflies and a bunch of bugs. You know, once again, keep it in the theme. We have another vendor that she was doing tarot readings. Once again, we don't believe in that, but we had a assignment that we wanted to showcase and you know, show all the vendors. This was one of the vendors. She was doing that, and she was present. I took some photos of her, and then we had my wife. That it was her first time looking at something like this. So yeah. Kudos to the wifey for, you know, helping me out. And then, let's see here. We had another person that did, you know, like props for gaming, like table games and fantasy games. So this person will have, like, if you see the table, let me see if I have a close-up of that. Oh, well, he has some fantasy stickers too. They have this specific thing, which is a prop for, like, you can tell that those are dices for fantasy games. So they have a different setup for that. You can utilize those props into the game as well. So, you know, kudos to them. They're being really creative. And then you get a bunch of shields and armor, you know, I think those are called armor shields or something like that, and different props, keychains, a bunch of stuff. You get your ears, and then 3D printed what's called dragons, which is a great prop. It's a nice prop. And then she was trying the ears. I was trying to capture that too. See, I think he bought that staff. I was like, man, that's a cool staff. Are you selling that? He was like, nope, not for sale. I was like, oh dang. Okay. This is the castle itself, which is pretty awesome. I think it was beautiful. From what I was told, the guy, he's passionate about boats, and once he retired, he was still passionate about philosophy, building something that represents that, and he just came up with the idea of building a castle just like that one. So that's pretty much it on that end. You know, this is the decor. Oh, that right there, my friends, is a house for a troll. No, and from the area. I think when I did a little interview to the gnome, and he will say that he was like 200 and something years old, that he grew up and he was local to that specific tree in the area, so he's like a descendant from the generations of gnomes in Georgia area. So that's pretty much the story on that end. And a bunch of photos of the wifey enjoying the view. We got some more of the decor. So I try to have her interact with different. That's the gnome I was talking about. So we took some photos of him or of it. And this was built and controlled by people that work in that have been working for the TV shows, and then what's the other show, Sesame Street and the Muppets and things like that. So they have experience on that end. So yeah. So once again, it's more of a fantasy experience that you get, and that's just me. That looks so weird. This is the guy right here. What's his name? I'm bad. I'm super bad at names. I wanted to talk to him, but he was always busy, so he was like going in and out. Yeah, I wanted to do an interview. More decor. That's where the main act. So it has like different acts, but they call it Act 1 or the Green Hall or something like that. You go there, you see the main show, and then you go out and you go to do your quest. So it's a pretty nice experience, I gotta tell you. Like this guy announces, hey. He bangs the gong and then announces, hey, get ready for your first step into the adventure, yada yada yada, please come in and enjoy the show. And then you have some characters in there, just like this one. Yep. Very peculiar characters. So I was capturing him greeting people around. So we got so many photos, guys, like you have no idea. I'm also waiting for somebody to come in today at the studio. So as soon as that person comes in, guys, I will probably either pause or cut the stream. But I wanted to showcase it, what I did, what I photographed, and I think that's what I'm gonna do from this point on, because sometimes editing takes forever. I'm just gonna tell the story, go over the photos, and then do another separate stream to go over editing. I think that's gonna be more entertaining for everybody. But once again, I'm trying different stuff and see what sticks, and I think that's gonna be more variable for you guys, because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to see me just ranting about stuff and just oh, this computer, yada yada yada, it's taking forever. But once I get a nice computer, I promise you we're gonna be editing live and whatnot. But for now, let's enjoy the photos. Keep in mind, once again, we're not editing them right now, because as you can see from the very beginning, it took forever, and probably you guys got bored real quick, and I understand, and I'm sorry. Alright, so this is the main show. They have a show in there. They have this character giving an introduction. I was told, hey, don't be in the center, because you gotta be sitting down, don't move around. I was like, dang, I can't move. I like to move everywhere. So once again, keep in mind, some shows might have you stay put. Yes, be respectful, understand that you are a guest, and especially as a photographer. Yes, I was burning inside because I wanted to move around, but you know what, it is what it is. Some places you are going to be able to climb to the roof and shoot from there, but some other places they're going to have very dark setups like this one, and you cannot move anywhere. So hey, you got to work with what you have. Alright, so we got those. We got the introduction. We got this guy talking about, I think the story goes where there is this portal that opened up and darkness took over the land, and then the prince was I don't know, attacked and changed or whatever, and he needs to find the light again, which is part of your job too. You gotta do the quests, and I think this is the prince, and you gotta make sure you go and rescue and help break the curse or whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty nice, and I gotta tell you, it's different. It's, you know, if you're involved in that field, it's probably something natural for you, but many of us that this is pretty much the first, you know, take other than Disney on fantasy related activities. It's just, you know, it's a little something new, something different. But I try to capture my best where I was sitting down, a little bit of the show. Yeah, I'm gonna be editing all this hopefully next week. They got a pretty nice setup, you know. I gotta give it to them. It's tough to capture this because it was dark. I think I'm pushing my settings pretty up there. But yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, judging from an artistic, you know, viewpoint, it's like, it's art. I love it. The dances were on point. She's an aerialist, so she did a lot of you know, things in the air, so that was fun. She's pretty good at it. She's, you know, she's a pro, and you could tell. Dancers were fantastic. The setup is really nice, you know. It's they're professionals, and once again, when sometimes they build something like this, it's not as good. Of course, this has a lot of potential to improve and take it to the next level. But from my experience and from what I was able to enjoy, it was worth it. It was worth the drive, the lack of sleep. Ooh, I like that photo. I don't know, he went up there. Huh. Interesting. This guy was singing live the whole time, which is fantastic, and they highlighted that every show, every time they will sing live. So you know, props to that. Not everybody will do that. Usually, some shows will pre-record the show, or sometimes they'll have multiple characters of the same person. But in this specific one, they'll have the same singer, you know, performing every single time. So at this point, there was somebody else coming in. I think he was his younger self or something. And then that's when he was trying to break the curse. And then he did. He was battling something. So a lot of action photos there. It was impressive, I gotta tell you. Now, sometimes it's good to enjoy the show as a photographer, and then enjoy the show as a guest. So just be, whenever you do something like this, be a guest sometimes and disconnect from the camera. Now hopefully I get an invitation for next year and actually enjoy it as a guest. I try my best to capture as many moments as possible, to showcase the show, to hopefully this is marketing material for next year. We'll see. It's a great experience. And some photos for the wife. And then there was an oracle. She was inside the castle. That's the first stop. And once again, thank you, wifey, for surviving, the experience with me. So I try to get as many angles as possible, showcase the stuff. Once again, there's a lot of promotional stuff that we were able to do. Also, this is another portion I wanted to talk about. You get a coin, like 2 coins, as a VIP guest. Those are for drinks at the bar, so the bar will do a drink for you. This is pretty much what I get every wedding. It's like cranberry and tonic water. So yeah. They also had a VR experience, meaning that you go to quote unquote the library, you sit down, you put VR headset on, and then there's a little tour, virtual tour on the library, which being honest, it looked a little bit the graphics, the story inside was great. The graphics were more towards like early PlayStation games, so don't expect that experience to be like live action. That experience is more like PlayStation 1 graphic story. I'm not saying it's bad. You could take it as retro gaming, retro experience. But once again, as a photographer, and this is something that I've been working with, you gotta, work and be honest with expectations. So that's what I'm doing right now. So don't expect to put that headset on and see a full-blown movie. It's more like a little mini tour on a on the PlayStation 1 graphics. So yep. Moving on, there was a chamber with musicians. They were playing. I took some photos of them playing with some nice music. They're professionals, so they're actually playing. It's not like recording and somebody pretending. They're actually musicians. And then we have another room where there was a painter, and there was more of an expressionist dancer. So he was like dancing and being painted, and There's like motor dance and somebody painting over the body. So we got all those photos, and then I went to where's this at? I think this is the top of the stairs. Oh no, this is the bottom balcony of the castle. So you can see the main entrance over there. You see all the vendors that are set up in those tents, and people started coming in. So this is what it looks like from the castle's view. You have a couple fairies going around that they'll challenge you for something, and then you get your light. You start accumulating lights, right? Because that's the goal. You gotta get your light. This specific fairy requested a battle of an ancient roots, which was rock, paper, scissors. And we lost every single time. I don't know what it was, but she was good at it. Every single time we lost. We tried our best, but she won every single time. Yeah. So that's what it was. There she is. More decor. They have a dragon, and I messed up because I didn't know you could go up there and actually have an experience with the dragon. I thought it was off limits because I saw the barricade at the bottom, so I'm like, okay, it's probably off limits. I cannot go up there, but I could have easily gone up there. That's on me. I should have asked. It is what it is. There's these two characters which are like stone people. They walk super slow. They act a little bit I don't want to say awkward, but they're like slow. They're a little shy. They tend to hide. Yeah, and they're super strong. So, and then I got the dragon. I got yelled at because yo, what are you doing? You have to bow first. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I gotta bow. So, yeah, I had to bow, and then I was able to take the photos. Once again, it's more of a puppeteer setup. Everything that you see in that experience is more like theater type of experience. Don't expect any animatronics or anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the experience. And I think this is with my 105. I should have taken my long lens. I don't know. I slept on it. I should have brought my 300 to my 120 to 300. That would have been great. But yeah. Yeah, that's the dragon, and that's the dragon princess queen. And then that's another part of the castle. You get a bunch of stuff around. Right there. Took some photos. And reject. And that. And then in that tower, there was somebody like. He was somebody that studied the stars. This guy right here, and he will tell you stories about how they got trapped and they need to. He's been there for the longest, and yeah, he was looking for. He was talking about a lot of sky events. So that was what's happening there. Yeah. So I got plenty of photos, and this is the castle view from the back. from that tower where the astronomer was. This is the path that you walk to go up there. And then at the bottom of that tower, there was these people doing a little bit of comedy, a little bit of music, a little bit of dancing. This guy was funny. And that was the smallest violin or something. They had a joke about that. And also throughout the experience, you were given like some props to give to different characters and complete the quest. So yeah, that's part of that and that. And yeah, so there's a magical something that somebody needed to play. She played it, and there was another gift from the castle to them. It was getting dark, you could tell. Getting dark. And nighttime. And that's how dark it got. I like that photo. Hold on. I like that photo. Damn, Javi. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a preset that I built, which is probably the black and white. Let's do concert black and white. Okay. Concert black and white will bring the highlights all the way up. There we go. I like that. That kind of looks cool, right? Should I bring the texture up a little bit? Yeah, just a little bit. There we go. I like that. Ho, ho, ho. That's a cool photo. Alright, so I'm gonna export this one. Alright. Let's move on. The ending of the experience was a little... Let me see here. That person I'm waiting is not showing up yet. Huh. Anyways, this is like a light show with performances from different characters. I think this right here were the trash people, the janitors. So they were performing. It was like a rock song. Then the castle was mapped, and there was projection mapping going on the castle. And recycle, reduce, reuse, revenge. I love that. Oh man, I think my favorite characters from the whole thing were those two. I gotta tell you, it was funny. At least the most funny characters were those two. They're great. I love the way they perform. It was fantastic. It was so funny though. Let's see here. So they did perform. Then the next character showed up, which is the violin player. He started performing too. Then after that, we had these people showing up. I guess there's like angels, and there's the singer from that Act 1. So it was like an LED show with the wings and the characters. And this is what people, this like stands right here, like stone stands. Everybody was looking at the castle and enjoying the show. Once again, throughout at least the first half an hour, you get to see the show, the light show, the mapping show on the castle. Once that's over, you go to the show where the fire performers come in. So there's another section where the stands that I mentioned before, everybody's sitting there and they're gonna look to the wall. You're gonna have a performer with fire, so you get that performance there. There's like multiple, there's a good chunk of people that do the performance. It's pretty cool, pretty impressive. It's entertaining. But once again, you have to appreciate the experience from beginning to end. So you have to immerse yourself with, hey, I'm here on a quest. Let's make sure we enjoy it from beginning to end. Let's go and see what's this about. Once and I think this was at, let me see what time it was. 9:30 p.m. So they did this show around 9:30 p.m. And it's like a half an hour show. And right after 10, they'll have the private party and mingle. So for the VIPs and the MIBs or something like that, you get to stay and enjoy the party. We didn't stay number one because we were exhausted. We were destroyed. So we did not stay. And then I'm not sure what. I assume it's more like a reception type of environment afterwards, because you do get the bar and then you get music. So I guess it's just like a little medieval party, Renaissance type of vibes. This is another performer. We got this other performer, and then other two performers right here. I think these are I think those are the twins. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So you get those performers as well, which is pretty nice, very entertaining. So the setup is, it's very nice. Everything is about Renaissance and fantasy, and it's something different. I do recommend the show to enjoy something different. It's just a new experience if you haven't been to anything like it before. Yeah. Now, the show is great, but if you're not sure and you want to give it a chance and you're thinking about it, the town is gorgeous and there's lots to do. So if you're planning like a whole 7-day, which I do recommend, please go for more than 5 days. Staying 2 or 3 days is not enough. It's not enough. You need at least 5 to 8 days to actually enjoy Helen. Helen is gorgeous, and when you go and you experience and family. Yes, it's not something that, hey, I'm just gonna go with. I can't go because of the kids. No, there's angels, cowboys and angels. Oh my god, the food was a hit. There's a lot of people that love karaoke, so if you like karaoke, and there's multiple karaoke places over there. I've heard they do car shows sometimes. And yeah, well, I'm gonna leave it here, guys, because this is like the first day. I wanted to go over what I did the first day. I wanted to do some editing and whatnot, but I'll be doing that maybe next week or so. I got more things to edit. I got more stuff to do. I'm trying to be more active online. That's why I'm doing live editing and sharing what I do and whatnot. So once again, thank you to David Trotter for the invitation. Thank you for those VIP tickets. Please, there's only 2 weeks left, guys. Don't wait. Enjoy. You're gonna have a blast. Try to go. Helen, Georgia is beautiful. Go. I highly recommend it. And let me see here. Okay, let me go here. Yes, I recommend. Please go, guys. Please go. Enjoy yourself. Once again, thank you to Mirth and Mischief for this experience. I highly recommend it. You guys were fantastic. It was an awesome show. Yeah, please go. Can I bring this down? Yeah, let's put it right here. Alright, I'll put it right here. Yeah, please go. You will not regret it. It's a great experience. Once again, go with the mind of like, okay, I'm gonna immerse myself in an adventure. This is not, it's not real life. It's a fantasy world. Just play along. And once again, thank you to all the performers. You guys were fantastic. The makeup artist, she did a fantastic job. The custom designer, kudos to you, my friend. Thank you so much for, we had a chat with everybody. Everyone was fantastic. Let's see what else. I'll try to connect and do another live stream with the second day. The second day is way shorter. I did more of a professional setup portraits, so I'm excited for those. And then everything else is gonna be edited afterwards. So I think maybe Friday I'll be doing a live stream, or next Monday. We'll see. But once again, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Let me know what was your favorite part. Are you thinking about going? Yeah, I'm just here to share my experience. And if you don't go with that mindset of like, oh man, I gotta create content, and more of hey, let me immerse myself in the experience, you're gonna have an even better time that I did. My experience was great, but I think once you kind of let loose and enjoy and go immerse in the experience, you can have even a better time. Me and my wife, we had a blast, and it was amazing. And I met some fantastic people. Once again, thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everybody. David, for making this happen. I'll be posting more content online. Maybe I'll be doing some reels in the next few weeks. Maybe posting the interviews and all that. Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.